Hello everyone. So in this video we're going to see how to SSH into a remote system without typing a password. At first I'm going to show you how to set this up in a Ubuntu system, which is also exactly the same for Mac systems, and then I will show you how to set this up in a Windows system. So let's get started. So at first in the Ubuntu system, open a new terminal. So let me zoom this so that it's easier to see. As you can see, when I try to SSH into my remote system, which is hosted at this IP address, I have to type in my password every time I try to log in. And if you are frequently using this, typing your password every time is quite cumbersome. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna type something called ssh-keygen so that I create a public and private SSH key pair. So I'm gonna leave it default for everything, and after after the setup is done, what you can do is you can check if the keys are generated or not. So the private key is called IDRSA and the public key is called idrsa.pub. So now the next step is to copy the idrsa.pub to the remote system. So to do that, we have a very simple command in Linux and also in Mac. What you can do is you can type ssh-copy-id and type in your username of the remote PC and also the IP address that you want to connect to, and then type in your password. And this is hopefully for the last time that you're typing your password. So now if I try to SSH into the remote system, as you can see, I don't need to type in my password anymore. So this is how you set this up in a Ubuntu system. Now let's look at how you can do this in a Windows system. So let's say if you have a Windows system like this, open your terminal, open your PowerShell. Let me jump this up so that it's easier to see. So type in the same command like before. Type in ssh-keygen. Leave everything as default, and as you can see, the key pair has been generated and is present in .sss folder. So what you can do is, if you do this, you're gonna see your private key and public key. Now the step is to make sure that you copy this public key to your remote PC, but unfortunately for us in Windows we don't have the handy command that we have in Linux, so we're gonna have to do this manually. So what we need to do is first go inside the SSH directory, type $env user profile /.ssh/ now what you can do is type ID, press tab. So this is your private key. Now click .pub. So this is your public key for this system, right? So what you can do is you can select and then press Ctrl+Shift+C so that you copy it. Let me clear the screen. So now the next step is you have to SSH into your remote system. So SSH into it. Hopefully this is for the last time after you set everything up. .70. So after you set type in your password for a remote system, and then here what you need to do is you need to type echo and paste the line here, right? Only the public key, and then type in ssh/authorized keys. So with this, hopefully Now what you can do is you can exit. Let me clear the screen, and hopefully if I try to SSH, I don't have to type in my password anymore. So for the second half of the video, for those people who like to connect to remote using VS Code and set up the passwordless connection to remote, what you can do is open your VS Code, right, and then go here and search for remote, and then install the remote SSH extension. I already have this installed. Right, now the next step is to click here and then select connect to host, and then click configure SSH hosts, right, and then select the first one, and here say type it this way, host, and then let's call it Ubuntu server, and then here host name, type in your IP address. So for me it's 10.224.17.146, and then type in user, whatever the username is, and then type identity file, and remember we created the RSA file. Now what you can do is hit Ctrl S to save. Now try to connect to host. You will see this, and click this, and then hopefully wait for some time. Hopefully, so okay, it will download VS Code server, and then yeah, that's it. You don't have to type in your password anymore. So now you can do is you can click open folder, and maybe open desktop, and yeah, you can basically create a new file and work on this. Nevertheless, whenever you modify a file, always make sure that you save it so that you don't lose your content, right? Always hit Ctrl S so that it saves your files. Now if you are on a Windows system, let me go back to the Windows system that we had before. So if you are on a Windows system, open the VS Code, do I have VS Code installed? Okay, open VS Code. Again, install the remote SSH extension, and then click on this green icon here. Here say connect to host, and then configure SSH host. So what you can do is, yeah, this looks alright to me. So the host name, it's the name, call it Ubuntu server. So the host name is basically the IP address. For me it's 10.24.17.146, and the user is NYUAD, and remember we have identity file, right? So here identity file is so you go here, it's this one, right? So what you can do is type in pwd, you will give your current path, select, and press Ctrl+Shift+C and paste it here, and then don't forget the your private SSH file, Ctrl+Shift+C, and then paste it here. So this is your identity file. Save it, and then now let's try to connect to host Ubuntu server. It should connect. So select save Linux. So you will download the VS Code server. It may take some time if it's your first time connecting. Okay, It's downloading VS Code server. Yeah, for some reason it took a long time. So I'm going to pause the video and come back when the download is finished. So after a very long wait, for some reason we're back. Sometimes it happens, and then yeah, you can see on your bottom left corner that you are connected to Ubuntu server. So now what you can do is you can open folder. Again, the same thing as before. You can open any folder, even the home folder, or any desktop, or any folder like this. And yes, you can trust this. As you can see, so these are the files that I wrote before from my other system. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Happy developing, happy coding.